Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a Zone 4, and it is the last day of May, so happy Memorial Day. And I thought today would be a good day to do a tour of all my flower containers. And I'm just sitting here for a little bit just to kind of explain my containers, because the majority of them have been created with the seedlings that I've been growing since about March. And a lot of them are very common. I was having a lot of fun planting them up. I definitely have a lot in the pots just because I really want that lush full factor by the middle of June, because I am having my niece's graduation here. So I really want that impact. Usually I like to wait for my containers to fill in, but so I hope, fingers crossed, that they look good by then. Some weird combinations, I'm not gonna lie, it's just I hope they kind of come out the way I picture in my head when I'm planting stuff. And I don't know what the bloom color is going to be like, or the growth habit. It can be a little bit tricky, but I also, on that, I did buy some plants. I'm not going to feel guilty about that, but for Christmas and for my birthday, I usually ask for gift certificates to my favorite garden center, and so I got some, and they just said do not use it to buy soil. I love their potting mix or soil, but so I did buy some plants. And I do reuse a lot of my old potting mixes. I just take out the big hunks of roots from previous years, maybe things that have been put in there by squirrels. And if it looks good, I use it. If I had any pest issues or any disease to my plants, I would not reuse it. But I'm a Zone 4. Most of these pots sit outside, and my winters kind of kill off whatever is in them, and it's good. I could not afford it. On that note, I have had to buy some potting mixes, which is amounted about $100. So may not be a lot for some of you, but for me, that's a lot. Especially whenever I've reused a lot of the. Thank goodness I had it. And then I usually put a slow release fertilizer in there. And this year I went with something different. So I'm not sponsored by anyone, but this is what I've been going with. Let me show you the front of the bag. Probably not the best bag. Okay. Well, it is an all-purpose organic fertilizer. It's basically chicken manure pellets. It's for flowers, vegetables, and shrubs. And all of my local garden centers are carrying this. This is just by a company in Gaylord, Minnesota. So far the results that I've seen, I've really liked. There is a smell to it, of course, because it's chicken manure pellets. So the one thing is I have a beagle, so the only place that I can't really put it is around my kennel area, because he will try and get out, and it just, anything that has a scent like that he wants to get at. But everywhere else I've been using it, in my flower beds, in my containers, in my vegetables, and I'm really liking it. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I'm trying it this year, and I thought for this whole bag has done a lot. It was $20 for a 20-pound bag, but I definitely thought that I would give it a try. I think I covered all my bases here. So let's get this tour started. Hopefully you find this inspiring. Like I said, a lot of things are not blooming yet. I'm just going to walk to the front here. I was sitting in back talking to you because some neighbors were out. And I don't want them thinking I'm crazy and talking to myself. You can see my shadow nice and early. So in these containers here, this is the front of my house, I have violas. Antique Sorbet shades Viola. They will be coming out, so this will be the last time you'll be seeing them. They look beautiful. They probably could take the heat, but this gets west sun, which beats off the siding of the house, and it is like a sauna up here when that sun comes around, which is about 1 o'clock. It's not full sun, but it's definitely scorching sun, and in the black containers it heats up. I know, they are so beautiful. I've really enjoyed these, and I was very happy to plant these. I planted these about 2 weeks before my last frost date, and which the bees absolutely loved. So I probably will do this again. I do have some containers in back, which I will leave because they get a little more shaded in the afternoon, so I'll see if they work out. But I don't think these will last all summer, and like I said, I've got a graduation party that I'm hosting, so I kind of want everything, I don't know, lush. They are beautiful. I have been dealing with hot temps, cold temps, which it dipped to 36 degrees for a low, and some plants are struggling. I will show you. And here, these are pansies. Isn't that strawberry tricolor? Just beautiful. I will leave these for the time being. And the other thing is I have so many plants left over from my seedlings that I want to use them up before they start looking really ratty. And they are starting to. Nice picture of my shrub. So my trees have been dropping cotton seed pods. It's made things messy. High winds. It was, and then my town sprays for mosquitoes, and I think I have some damage. So over here in this first container is Blushing Susie, Black-Eyed Susan vine, and it is just going to town. I have 3 planted in there. That might be overkill, but I am really trying to achieve that full effect. So I'm just going to show you here. It's a little bit of a mess. These are still things that I have. I have lots of cuttings too that I took a watering juice, so you will see a lot of repeat in my pots. I did bring this coleus in here whenever it dipped to 36, which I'm happy because I might have to replace some. I didn't plant a whole lot because I know how they don't like the cold. So I have all of that yet to figure out where I'm going to put. Not all, but... So in here, this is where it starts getting a little wacky. This is a Cerinthe major purpurescens. I think the common name is Honeywort. So yeah, I like how it branches out. I'm kind of using it as a filler and a trailer. In the middle here, I have Nicotiana. It's Peruvian tobacco, so I'm not sure how this is going to bloom and really what color bloom, so that's the thing too. And here, so you can see on these leaves, I have this on other, so I'm thinking this is, it could be due to the high winds and heat and everything thrown at it, but I don't know, I think that's from my town spraying. And I can't complain because the mosquitoes do get really bad here. I have just a Snapdragon in here, which is blooming. It's really pretty. It doesn't get really tall, so I think that's about it for that one. I'm using oregano as a trailer. And then just 3 zinnias in here. It's the salmon color Benaries. So, and it's branching really nicely too here. So I might just give them a good pinch and see what happens. All these containers are different. I was going to do them the same, and then family members said, no, you got to do them different. So they're all unique, and see which one I like the best. And here I have Gara just around the outside. I have no trailer in this pot, and then in the middle here I have Mahogany Hibiscus, or Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. So you can see the wind, yeah, did a number on it, but I think that's going to look really good in there. And the Gara is just kind of a whitish color, the blooms. Like I said, some are a little fuller than others. Down here, not blooming yet, but you can see it's got some nice heads on it. Yes, a marigold. I know they're common and kind of boring, but I'm okay with that. This I want to see is a vanilla cream hybrid. And in here I have some more. I love Nicotiana, and this is Swivolans. And it's funny how all the leaves are different on all. I have 3 different types of Nicotiana. So this is glossier. It's really different. It does have a bloom coming, so I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. I just planted this lemongrass in the center. We'll see what happens. It might get eaten up, but I will be doing crowd control at some point, hopefully. That means I did something right. And Erigeron Kervinskianus. So you can see I have a little daisy right now. So very happy with that. I've used leaves in here as just a mulch, and basically because the terracotta pots, hopefully I'll help retain some moisture with those. But I think this one so far is one of my favorites. Like, I know it's kind of common varieties, but oh, you know, maybe this one too is a favorite also. So here in this container I have bunny tails, and I absolutely love it. And you can, and everything about this grass is soft, from the leaves to, look at that. And that's the bloom on it, and I can't stop touching it. And it's, when you think that this clump here was just started from one blade of grass, that's amazing. More oregano. So I'm hoping that just trails over. If not, it'll smell good and I can harvest it and use it. And here I have, I want to say it's Texas sage. And I think it's going to get a pink color, but this looks really good. This was struggling a bit with the hardening off, and it kind of was leaning over, but it's perked up pretty good. And look, more bunny tail blooms. Love it. Absolutely love it. And this is a full sun area. So very happy with that container. I hope the bunny tails stand up to the weather all season. So this one, so isn't this amazing? And this is another Nicotiana, and this is lime green. And I have 4 in here. Look at the size of these leaves compared to the other ones. So they're all different. It's fuzzy, huge. I do have Erigeron in here. I think this will get eaten up, but it has some blooms. I do have to move the containers forward a little bit just because it's being shaded by this beautiful bloom ring lilac. Oh, that's why I'm kind of taking my time over here with the scent. It's just lovely. But yeah, so you can see. And Erigeron Kervinskianus, I think it goes by a common name, Santa Barbara Daisy. But isn't that, it's unbelievable. I do like the lime green Nicotiana, and the Nicotiana brings in the hummingbirds. So here is another, I just kind of copied what I did on the other side, is Black-Eyed Susan vine. And you can also see there's some damage here. But I think that they're vigorous enough that they'll pull through. Well, I mean, they're going to pull through, but they'll cover up that ugliness. I'm going to try and figure out which way, because they're all over. I'm trying to put my containers where I can water them easily. So down here in this pot, I have Erigeron. Again, I had a lot of it, a lot of repeat plantings. So I have that just in the front here, Original Kavinsky-anus. And then in here, you can see this is what happens with the cold. So I'm hoping that pulls through. I topiaried one of my coleus. And this is a coleus that I took a cutting from last year. I don't know the name of it, so it's got a nice woody stem. The older your coleus is, the woodier the stems get. So I'm hoping it gets a little bit bigger. So yeah, it's a lot of green in there, but the daisies here should flush out with some blooms. It's something new I'm trying. And I just repeat it over here. Yeah, that cold. But it should pull through. If not, I'll give that a good trim. But if you can see that, it gets a woody stem, so I think that's kind of cool. Like this, I just planted probably less than a week ago, and it's flushing out. So like I said, I'm really seeing great results with the chicken manure pellets. Let's see. You know, I'm going to go over here. It's still a bit of a mess in my gardens. I'm still trying to get everything planted. Down here in my fish planter, I name them, and she is Wanda. This is just Medusa. I bought this plant, so this is Medusa, sweet potato vine. It does have some damage here, so I'm just hoping this kind of trails over. I just think it'll look really nice. She's not staying here, but I think I know where she's going to go, but it depends on when I get to that. She's a heavy little thing. I also bought this one, and I was looking for the tag before this, and I cannot find it. The squirrels have a habit of digging out tags, but this is a Kufia. Someone said it's a firecracker plant, but last year I was thinking about getting one, and then when I finally decided on getting it, they were all sold out. So I thought this was really unique. And then over here, just a purple salvia in here. Absolutely love the color of the blooms in this. And in the front, or I shouldn't say front, all around here, I have African daisy. And the rabbits like to chew on this. And it's got some weird growth habit, but if it doesn't work out, I know the salvia will fill in. But it's supposed to be kind of a salmon color. I think it'll look really good with that purple. And I love the metal wash tubs. I keep looking at my kind of thrift stores, antique stores. I just did a pot of bunny tails on its own. So we'll see what happens. It's probably getting shaded by this big rose here, but it does get a lot of morning sun. I might have to shift things around. And back here in this bigger one, I have more of the, we'll just call it hibiscus, mahogany splendor hibiscus. That's branching out really nice too. Very happy. Gora in the front. I just had some cuttings of an ivy geranium. And then in back, I've got the Swivolans Nicotiana. I'm just hoping those flower spikes kind of poke up in the back. So, it's one of the first blooming ones of my Nicotiana, so very happy with. It's probably my favorite so far. My hand is falling asleep. All right, I've got a mound of mulch over here. I'm gonna swing you around. I wish there were more blooms to see, but I will keep you updated monthly. So this planter here, I was not too thrilled with it because this is Brawalia Blue Lady, And it looked so horrible when I planted it. It was just kind of like, you know, I'm going to give you a shot. We'll see what happens. And it has outdone itself. These blooms at night, I can't explain them. They're just, they light it up. I don't know how to explain it. It's just they are so beautiful. I still have some left. It looks tough, but I'm loving it. Like I said, it was so, but this too, it's in kind of an oval shaped, I don't know, wash tub. It was really cool. But loving it. Loving the growth on it. And here I have two. I probably have too many. I think one would have been fine in the middle, but this is Sunfinity Sunflower. And look, can't wait. Oh, looks like it does. Looks like the Viola gets some damage. Might be flea beetles. But, oh well. It's obviously an aggressive grower, the blue lake, but oh, I can't say enough about this so far. We'll see how it holds up. But the Sunfinity sunflowers are unreal. They're branching. I can't wait. They get about 3 feet tall and wide. I say that about every container, but I'm really liking this container. It's very simple though. So over here in my fire pit that I turned into a planter, I just have lots of stuff. Repeat, oregano here, bunny tails. I put some lemongrass right in the middle. Some Texas sage. This is Nicotiana lime green. Yes. I think so. And more. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? So we'll see how that feels. I have a lot in here, but it is a huge, huge fire pit. These marigolds are going to be planted in with my vegetables, which I have over here. I will do a tour of that. I keep saying that. I'm glad I waited with those cold nights. So down here, I keep saying it, same stuff. But considering what I saved in money on all of these containers, I hope they really work out. And this is the Peruvian tobacco, just surrounding it with one. The hibiscus. This I'm going to leave. We'll see how that does. These are just the violas. I think they look lovely in here. Just Gara, just keeping this one simple. Some are very simple, some are a bit much. I can honestly say I had so much fun planting up my containers this year because I just went into my own little nursery garden center and I crammed things in there. It was fun. It was just, came up with some wacky ideas. We'll see. So I'm going to also leave this container of the violas. I keep going in, but this has the most blooms. Super sunny over here right now. At least, let's see. We're gonna go to this right here. Excuse my shadow. So this is another coleus that I topiaried. It was a bit fuller, and then it broke a branch, and so I had to trim it up. But I think it's cute here. And then this, I can't stop touching it. I think it's baby tears. So, love it. I hope it just fills in the whole bottom. So, yeah. I brought that one in too when it got cold. I figure I can easily carry that one. Down here, just marigolds, Illumia. And over here, just some Snapdragons. Mass planted it. hyacinth bean vine. I have 4 in here. It might be a bit much, but it is all the way up here. So super excited. I hope that blooms a little bit earlier for me. So these, they're hay racks, and I just put them under my window here. New for me this year. We'll see how I like them. So far I'm not liking them because the birds are taking all of this. So, and they have ruined some of my plants in here. I had more of the Snapdragons and they did a number on them. I had to replace them with these. I don't have any short varieties, so this is just a begonia. It can take sun or shade. I have Origeron. I have my Wandering Jew cuttings, lots and lots of Wandering Jew. You will see I went to town on that. It's so easy to propagate, so why not? And then I have Gara in here. So I'm kind of going for a whimsical look, and I'm hoping that this just kind of comes together and, you know, covers up that gap there. I just have 2 hay racks. So I'm liking it, but those birds have been, like I said, we'll see how that holds up. And the Origeron is blooming in here too, so I hope it just kind of trails. And from what I read about that, it likes to be like crammed in there. So this is just Tahitian Bridal Veil, which I overwintered from last year. It was struggling a little bit, but look at the growth. So yes, I moved my umbrella planter over here. Kind of going for a rustic look. I think that's amazing. So we'll see how this works out. I might have to turn it because it looks like it gets more, we'll see. It's still morning. And this is just, I think, Snow Princess Lobularia. I got the tag. Squirrels can't get this. So I love this. If it does what it did last year, I'm just going to lay that there. If it does what it did last year, it should just cascade down and be unbelievable. It may not have enough sun, but we'll see. And this is another one I bought. I love Viola. Whirlwind Starlight. Different from what I've grown. One thing about these containers is if they're not performing the best, I can just take this whole stand, get kind of shaded there, and move it into the sun for a day and just help it out. So in this huge stand here, I was debating about putting a pot in here, but this Wandering Jew should just cascade and take over. I have a lot of cuttings here. I planted it up with Coleus. Again, I know it's kind of close, and I'll just keep it trimmed along with marigolds and purple salvia, which the hummingbirds like. I'm just trying to get back here. And if you can see, this is where that cold has really done a number on it. I'm going to let it go, see what happens. I definitely have more than enough coleus. Not this kind, because these were cuttings. I mean, all my coleus are cuttings. So my plants, my pots this year for the most part have been pretty frugal. And then I'm giving them a chance. I only had a few Gomphrena left, and I put it in here. Keys Carmine. They are slow growing, but we'll see if they can hold up to everything else in here. It does get more sun. I just have some big trees. I think I'll like it. Like I said, a lot of crowd control. Down here, I just have another coleus. This one tends to cascade down a little bit, and I keep pinching it just to make sure it stays bushy. The marigolds that I have in here is the vanilla cream hybrid. They can take apart some, so I think this will work for them. These are looking pretty good. They don't seem to be hit by that frost. And then more of the Nicotiana swavolens. Like I said, the texture is so glossy. I better get a move on, right? Otherwise this is going to be super long. This is looking a little bit tough. When my cotton fell, it clung to this for some reason. I don't know what it is about this plant, but even the fungus gnats is weird. They just got stuck to the stems. So I don't know if they're sticky, hairy, whatever, but it's kind of like a little trap, which is good. But this is another Kufia, pink shimmer. Very delicate, don't you think? So we'll see how I like that one. Oh, I went past this pot. So I just had some more of that Kufia, put it in here along with a lime green, which is feeling a little wilty. We'll see what happens there. And more bunny tails. Like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about the Kufia here, but it might bounce back once the heat comes, which it is coming. Even though I'm in Minnesota, that we get the high 80s, low 90s, and high humidity. So in this hanging pot here, I just went with more Wandering Jew. I took this Creeping Jenny, I don't know, I said I might not plant it, but it's a free plant, from my personal little stash over here. So I have also told family and friends, if they want some, I've got some. Don't go and buy it, I have plenty. So that's where I took it from, and it's filling out nicely. Like I said, all these seed pods I keep picking out, they eventually just crumble up. More of the coleus here, and then in here is just a double impatient. I don't think I saved the tag. Yeah. But I don't know how that's going to hold up in this pot. But I kind of like all the colors playing off of one another. So far, this is my favorite. Well, out of my 2 hanging baskets, I really like this, my own little recipe. I'm saying that a lot. This, I just sunk a pot down in here, and I have a Morning Glory vine climbing on it. We'll see how that works out. I did it last year with a hyacinth bean vine, and the rabbits chopped it off. So I just planted this up, and more Cerinthy along with some Gara. So I just did it on the outside, and it can just kind of grow up and fill out and do what it wants to do. This, I just have some more of the pansies. Looking really good. Yeah, by growing all those seedlings, I think I saved myself thousands of dollars, because the annuals this year, the centers are $6 to $6.50 to $7 for like a 4-inch container. So in here, I bought this. This is Dichondra Silver Falls. And then I paired it with the Wandering Jew. Cerinthy. Just, yeah, it looks a little weird. This is where I went a bit out there with this container. But unfortunately, this coleus here, you can see, did not fare well with the cold either. But there is growth in there, and with the heat coming, I'm just going to give it a chance. And if it doesn't work out, I have more that I can put in there. It's just, it's a little difficult because I have a lot going in here. I think I'll like that combination. The Cerinthy should get kind of purple blooms, but even that I think got hit by the cold. So he's in here. He's just hidden, being taken over by the Lamiastrum. So I have a snail planter in here. He's huge. I mean, he's perfect in this area, to tell the truth, with some violas. And I'm going to leave this because this gets morning sun and then it's shaded. So it might last the whole season. And I might have to come in here and trim it up just so I can see him. Some of these containers were at the back and I could never see it, but I moved them forward and I still can't see them. This whiskey barrel is new, and I know what I'm going to plant in there. I had to wait until this cold snap went through. And I have some more Mahogany Hibiscus. I have 3 in here. We'll see how well it does. It's a little greener. It gets morning sun and some afternoon. It might be enough. I know they get pretty big. 3 might be overkill. I'm still debating on it. Humpback whale seems to be just taking over, but I was debating about if I needed to put anything in, and he's Trevor. My little dude is crying. It's a beautiful day for a walk. More of the Medusa. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. That it's a sweet potato vine. It'll pull through. They're aggressive. And I have been debating if I want to put some hanging baskets on the corners here, so I have time. Then over here, so this was really cool. I have a friend of mine. She got this for me at a garage sale, rummage sale, and he is super heavy, so I'm going to say he's concrete. Haven't thought of a name yet, so if there's a name you think is fitting for him, let me know. I just have the polka dot plant in here. I do have the tag. Probably get the correct name for it. Splash Select White. Oh yeah, it is polka dot plant. And there's birds that like to leave their, yeah. So I think that'll brighten up this spot. And my deer, I did plant him. I want to say this is a fern of some type. I don't think I kept the tag. Artillery fern? I don't know. It was in the fairy garden section. That was probably a little out of view, right? Horrible camera work. There we go. I saw this in a little tiny hanging basket, and it was cascading, so a little bit. So we'll see if that does it in my deer. Over here, these are all plants that I bought. Plectranthus is aggressive. I know I'm going to have to just trim it up on the backside and just let it cascade, which it will. So that's the name. Focus. There we go. So, it says sun in there, but it can take shade rather nicely. And it might not be as aggressive. And in here, this is just another type of Brawalia, which I had a hard time finding last year, so when I got it. So, endless illumination. There. And the one thing that I made note of is next year when I'm buying my seeds, is to look for some more shade ones, because that's what I was hurting with. That's why I had to buy some of these plants here. But I think that'll look good. And that should bush a little bit, come forward, and this will trail. And then over here, just have some coleus. think this is velveteen. This took the cold really well. I'm not seeing any damage here. I might pinch it just to keep it a little bit, well, bushier and a little shorter, but I kind of like that. I'm just keeping that simple because it should fill in, but I really like these baskets. I didn't want to cover them up. I just mass planted Nicotianus volans. Can't wait to see. It might be whitish pink blooms, but that's okay. It should fit pretty good over here. And then in this container, my niece was with me, so I got these. Love begonias, and this is apple blossom. And then I think this is just a baby wings white begonia. These are cuttings that worked for me from the Plectranthus. They were really touchy, along with some wandering Jew. So I think, and I know there's a lot in here, this I really have to manage. It might just get pulled out at some point. But I really like this container. Alright, I'm gonna walk back this way. So yeah, so I'm not completely finished with my containers, so this is the majority of the containers that I have planted up. Like I said, I'm still debating if I want to put hanging baskets on the corner here. I need to get some shepherd's hooks just to kind of match it. I had some shorter ones, which was one over here and then a different one, but I have a bird feeder in that one, which has been fun. And I just think that height and then the cascading will be nice. I still have a lot of seedlings that I need to plant. Some do look a little tough. I also keep giving them away. I love giving away plants. It just makes me feel so good. I don't know if I'm going to plant any of the annuals into my flower beds or just let the perennials shine. There's a lot going on in them anyway, so. But this is a little hook here, but it's definitely not strong enough. I was thinking maybe just putting a little lantern on here. Maybe solar powered, but this doesn't get a whole lot of sun, so it might not keep that glow going. So hopefully you enjoyed my flower container tour, and like I said, I will do monthly updates, or maybe when I get the other ones planted, I'll do it a little bit sooner than that. Show you how they progress and fill in over the summer. Bye for now.